Here we are working hard. Hard work.
Yeah.
You lose your agenda. I'll share mine with you, let you get started. That's what,
It's
that's all
in
it
there,
takes.
Judge.
It
It's
is in there?
behind the memorandum.
There it is. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 9:07. Charles Hubbard, the Associate Pastor at Concord Baptist. There you go. He's going to offer a word of prayer this morning.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for allowing us to be here today. We ask you with our county commissioners and the judge, Lord, that you just give them the knowledge and the right decisions, Lord. We just ask you with Brown County and all the surrounding counties, Lord, and the people in all the cities that surround us, Lord, that you just give them safe protection. And let us not forget what the real reason of Christmas is, Lord. And we just thank you for all the many blessings you've given us and the grace you've given us. And most of all, giving us a son to die on the cross for our sins, Lord. And we just thank you for that, Lord. We just give you the praise in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Y'all take care. Y'all have a good Christmas.
Thank you too.
Citizens' comments, I'm not aware of anybody that signed up for citizens' comments. Is that correct? Nobody signed up?
No, not with me.
Minutes of the previous meeting held on December the 16th.
That's not correct. We didn't meet on the 16th. It would be the 9th.
The 9th. I thought I read those. Anyway,
It was the 9th.
okay, I make a motion, we approve the minutes from the 9th.
Here, 30.
Oh, it's wrong on here.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes as they were prepared from the meeting on the 9th of December.
Here, 30.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Treasurer and auditors reports.
None.
Burn ban.
I think we're all right. I'm hoping we get rain here in a few days.
I'm good right now.
I agree.
Employee changes. Sheriff's Department.
I have one change, it's a part-time position, kitchen, hired Leslie Tucker at the rate, part-time rate of $21.63 per hour, not to exceed 29 hours per week.
You said that's in the kitchen. And we were reminded last week how that detention officers in county jails, it says it's a very dangerous job.
Very, very well, yep.
Fatality. Did Waxahachie
Ellis County, one of the jailers was
attack
fatally attacked in the jail.
beat to death?
Yeah.
Somebody want to make a motion to approve the employee change, or did you?
What was it? What was the hourly rate on that? Where'd that number come from? 2163.
I move we approve the employee change in the sheriff's office.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the proposed employee change in the sheriff's department. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none.
Just for a record, I do pay that out of my commissary funds.
We'd like to hear that.
It never hurts.
New business. Consideration and possible approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between Brown County and Mills County for the housing and detention services of inmates.
Mr. Broughton has all those contracts that we're fixing to discuss. And this particular one here is actually us holding inmates for Mills County. No, actually, Mills County holding inmates for us, where they're raising their rate up to $75 per day like we do. So that's basically all that contract there is.
So that is when Mills County houses Brown County inmates.
We'll pay them $75 per day.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve that agreement.
Make a motion to approve that agreement between Brown and Mills County.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the agreement between Brown County and Mills County for the housing of Brown County inmates in Mills County at a rate of $75 a day. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? There's none. The next one is the same, but between Brown County and San Saba County.
This contract is for us to house their inmates at the rate of $75 per day.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve an interlocal cooperation agreement between Brown County and San Saba County for the housing of San Saba County detainees in the Brown County jail at a rate of $75 a day. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? There is none. And the next one is between Brown County and Taylor County.
Again, that's a contract between myself and Taylor County for Brown County to house their inmates at a rate of $75 per day.
So this is an agreement between Brown County and Taylor County for the housing of Taylor County detainees in the Brown County jail at a rate of $75 a day. I'll entertain a motion to approve that. Anybody want to?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'm giving you a chance.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agreement between Brown County and Taylor County. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? There is none.
You want Callahan County, that's the one you made. Yeah.
That's next.
No, we haven't got that yet.
McCullough County is next. Is that for McCullough County inmates to be housed in our jail
It is, yes,
at a rate of $75 a day?
correct.
Make a motion to approve that also.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the interlocal cooperation agreement between Brown County and McCullough County for the housing of McCullough County detainees in the Brown County jail. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? There is none. Consideration and possible approval of authorization to accept donations from the Brown County Sheriff's Department.
On my phone, I forgot to check. Well, yes, I recently received a check from Miss Annie L. Baker in the amount of $50, where she's again making a donation to my office. I think this is about the third year in a row that she's done that, so I'd like authorization to accept that.
I'd make a motion to authorize the sheriff to accept donations from.
Annie,
Ms. Baker.
Miss Baker,
You said Annie? What?
Annie Baker.
Annie? Okay. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we authorize the sheriff to accept donations. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? There is none. Consideration and possible, is that all you?
Yes,
I think it's me.
it's all yours.
I hope that's all I'm prepared for. I do have the jail report, 144 inmates, 3 of them are contracts. And then here's a contract between me and Hills County that he's on both directions. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Consideration and possible approval of an increase in assistant district,
Okay, that's okay. As long as I get it, I don't care how it gets to me.
assistant district attorney salary paid from SB 22 funds. This is, did he send that down?
We have a letter on it.
Okay.
We gave it to him.
Do you know what the actual amount was?
12,000 a year.
12,000 additional.
And so this is out of that grant from the state for prosecutors' offices and law enforcement. And rural counties. And so he was, I don't really know if he needs our approval or not, but just to make it clean, we put this on there, and this is to increase the salary by $12,000 a year to be paid from that grant.
Was that, did we do that last year? or this
No,
year?
we did it for the county attorney's office.
We need to know who it is.
It's Carol Landers,
Carol.
Kara.
Kara Landers. Okay.
And this is that, I'll just remind everybody, this is Senate Bill 22, which was a bill where they funded law enforcement and prosecution in rural counties in Texas. The sheriff's department got one this year. Prosecutors, the county attorney and the district attorney both got them last year and this year. There's no guarantee beyond this year, but
As long as the understanding is that
The money's fine.
the money's there, as long as SB 22 is there. And if that ever revokes, then
it reverts back.
it reverts back. Yes.
So yeah, can I consider that a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll second his motion then.
So it's moved and seconded that we approve that request to pay that increase to the assistant DA's salary out of the Senate Bill 22 funds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? There's none. Thank you. Consideration and possible approval of action regarding approving bond for tax assessor collector.
I get all the bonds, and this is the only one that said approved over the Commissioner's Court, signed by you, and I don't know why. But all the bonding companies, for all the officials that are coming in January, they're different companies.
Yeah.
You know, there's about 4 different companies, and hers is the only one that has to be approved over the Commissioner's Court and be signed. So that's why I put it on the agenda. I didn't know if I needed to do it now or wait until after January 1.
No, I think we can do it now because
Okay.
it'll start January 1.
It's just actually to be signed by you. It's
And
just right here on the bottom.
so you were, I know there's a whole stack.
I do have a whole stack,
Everybody who's starts a new term
yeah.
in January.
And some people that are not starting a new term, they just renew occasionally. You just never know when you're gonna get one. That's just the way they work.
Yeah.
They try
Well-
to get the best ones, I think.
Who?
The agency that we use tries to do the best bonding company they can. And I think that when they do that, they change bonding companies to get the best one that fits our needs.
Right. And so you've already gotten them for everyone,
Yes,
everybody,
yes.
particularly the new?
They actually mail them to the candidate or the incumbent or whoever, and then they bring them to me so I can present them to the auditor's office to be paid and to record them.
And so you've gotten
I have.
everybody that needs one.
I have gotten them. I have not gotten them to sign them yet because I really thought that maybe they needed to wait till they did their oath, you know, in January, even if it's after January 1st, to do that then. I didn't know we were gonna have any kind of a ceremony. I haven't heard of one,
Okay.
and that's fine. But I can, I think they'll come by. I've contacted them all to come by.
All right, so we need a motion to approve the bond on Christine Pentecost.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the bond that's been presented. And all of the amounts on all of the bonds are
They're all
statutory,
different,
but they're all statutory, right?
yeah.
So it's been moved and seconded that we approve this bond. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Consideration and possible approval of an agreement between Brown County and the Department of Veterans Affairs for the return of a van bought by Brown County and donated to the VA. And Mr. Stieber's not here?
No, sir. Somebody's here.
Oh, that's a different issue.
I see.
That's a different VA issue.
They're different.
He was like, oh my gosh, I have to say something. So we were approached last week, I believe, by Harold Steeper. I know y'all know Harold. And this related to a van that was used for transportation of veterans between here and, I believe Temple, Belton. Yeah. And so I believe it's old, maybe it's lived its life.
Is that the worn out one?
That's the worn out one, yeah.
Because we bought a new one.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so they're wanting to return, the VA is wanting to return the van to us. And what they're hoping we will do is then sell it as surplus and then use that money to build an awning for the new van to be parked under.
I hear
I
you.
know that's kind of steps. And so the first step is accepting it back. And that's all we're doing today is accepting it back. We're not committing to build the new one.
I'll make a motion that we accept the return of the wore out van.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the acceptance of the worn out van from the Department of Veteran Affairs. And then next time we'll declare it surplus and sell it if that's the best thing. But today we're just accepting it back. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There's no one opposed. Do y'all keep that at your building?
We do not, Your Honor.
Oh, it's over at the VA? Okay. And is that true? There's not an awning to park it
No,
under?
there is not. It's,
Okay.
It sits out there to the side. You'll see the old man is very faded on that, so.
Okay, so that'd probably be a good idea to get some kind of
Correct.
shelter. So consideration and possible approval of a lease agreement between Brown County and the Pecan Valley Regional Domestic Violence Shelter. This is one of the, we've discovered or I have discovered over the last couple of years that there are there was a lot of deals made in the past between the city of Brownwood and Brown County. We jointly own buildings. This is one of the buildings that we jointly own. I don't even know what the building is. Is it the old health department maybe from years and years and years ago?
Could be.
Not the most recent health department.
Yes,
the old one.
the old one over there on Baker or whatever it is.
Right.
I'm not familiar with this at all.
Okay, and so this is, it's where the ARC Domestic Violence Shelter is located. And that's why there's not an address put on the agenda. But it's apparently a building that the city and the county jointly own the building. And then we lease it to this organization for their shelter. And so, sometime in 2024, the city approved continuing the lease. I guess the lease is due to expire at the end of December. And then the city's already approved it, and this is just us approving it since we jointly own with the city for that building. And here's a lease agreement if anybody needs to see it. And it's for a period of 10 years, beginning January the 1st.
Hey, that's why I don't remember. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the agreement between Brown County and City of Brownwood.
No, it's actually,
In the Pecan Valley
Pecan
Regional.
Valley Domestic Violence.
second. We got, Gary got it.
Moved and seconded that we approve a new lease agreement between the city of Brownwood, Brown County, and the Pecan Valley Regional Domestic Violence Shelter, doing business as the ARC. This is for a period of 10 years. This is continuing the previous agreement between the same entities, I guess, 10 years ago. So, all in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? There's no one opposed.
You actually have a lease agreement?
We do,
Okay.
and so I'll make you a copy of it.
All right, thank you.
And we'll get a copy of it too.
And so the next one is Consideration and possible approval of a lease agreement between Brown County and the City of Brownwood for the Veteran Services Office located at 2600 Memorial Park out in the Camp Bowie area. Now, this is, and I don't know what people generally call this building. It's the little metal building out by the hospital.
Judge, that's actually 1600 Burnett Drive. For those who don't know, it used to be the Fort Red Shooting Range, used to be Kiwanis. If you go all the way back to the second floor, was the headquarters company for the 36th Infantry Division. Division headquarters sat right on the hill where the memorial is. So it's also a historical building. The American Legion moved out, and that's where our office has been set. They gave us a space there, and it's really convenient to right down from the VA clinic,
Yeah.
so we have the maximum exposure to do business. So that,
It's right there by the, what's the Memorial Park called?
the Veterans Memorial Park.
Veterans Memorial
It sits
Park.
it sits in the
Across
park.
from the hospital.
Yeah, but the city, when they gave me the lease agreement, it's got this legal description. It just didn't have an actual address. And so this building has been the American Legion, I think in the middle. You're on Veteran Services on one end, and the other end is,
The Texas Veterans Commission Health Office, Health Advocate.
and so the agreement has always been between the city of Brownwood and the American Legion for the use of that building. It's a city-owned building. And so the American Legion gave notice that they were moving out at the end of December. And so the city has agreed to just lease us that building. We've been paying the utilities on the building
That's affirmative. We pay the utilities in it.
in exchange for free rent for our veterans office. And so what we're going to do is now we're going to enter into an agreement with the city to lease that for $1 a year. And then so it's going to cost us $1 more than it has been. And so we're going to have that, actually going to have the whole building and continue to pay the utilities on it. So that Veteran Services Office doesn't have to move.
Is that right?
On the last part of the utilities, you know.
No, he just said, is that right? That's the plan, is for you to stay in it for?
Yes, affirmative, yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to enter into that lease agreement with City of Brownwood for the Veteran Service Office.
We do have a written lease agreement.
I like the amount,
Yeah, that's.
$1, and I can deal with that one.
And so, all in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? There is none. And we do need to make a change that was 1600 Burnett.
1600 Burnett Drive. The city reclassified the name of the street.
Are we gonna still pay the utilities to ourselves, or are we gonna be still reimbursing as we were?
Well, who were we sending it? We were reimbursing the American Legion. Well, then, so what we'll do is we'll put the utilities in our name.
Okay.
And let me just correct it. It's actually not even $1 a year. It's just the consideration is that we will maintain insurance on the building and pay the utilities. Consideration and possible approval of a contract between Brown County and Tyler Technologies for case management, court management, law enforcement, and financial software. I've got the actual contract. We've been working on this, as y'all know, we've been working on this for a long time, hasn't it?
Over 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years worth. And so, and the contract is a 4-part contract that is over 100 pages long. And we've all been working on it, and we're still fine tuning this. But this is for the whole amount. This is for everything, including the software, the conversion of our current data into theirs. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to even know what it's called. to converting all of our current records into their records. And the first year, year one of the software fees. I've got the contract available if anybody wants to look over it. I think that we all have, I've looked at it, Jennifer's looked at it, Goldsmith's looked at it. So we've all discussed it and hashed it over many, many times. Does anybody have any questions about this contract?
Does this get everybody in the county onto Tyler software?
Every single department,
Every department?
yes. Law enforcement, jail, all the courts, JP. Yes, yeah, I'm fixing all that. And so, this is everybody, every Brown County entity on the same software.
So after, and it's probably gonna be, excuse me, about a year in transition,
18 months.
18 months. So after that time, everybody will be on Tyler and there'll be no other
Duplication.
software that's running in somebody else's office,
Right.
in somebody's office,
Right.
like it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So there won't be a hodgepodge of
That's right.
whatever. Okay. And that, you're right.
When the jail books somebody in, they don't have to enter it into two different systems,
Yeah, 3 different times.
3 different times, right? And so it'll be seamless from book-in all the way through
Through,
disposition of the criminal
disposition.
case.
and I noticed it said financials on there, so the auditor's office and treasurer's office
Yes.
will be in that also. Like you said, we've been working towards this for over 2 years. And I'm glad to see we finally moving toward the end of it. So,
Yeah, I am too. I'm glad that now we're going to begin the next phase. We had,
So what's the first year's part of it gonna be?
we had hoped, just a second, we had
Sorry.
hoped we were going to kick it off, the conversion in January. It'll probably be February 1st before we actually start the conversion. Talking to them, they will now assign it to I forgot what it's called, maybe conversion manager, some kind of a project manager that will be assigned just to our county. So that person will, there's about a 3 or 4 week lag before you actually start doing anything. So probably around the 1st of February is hopefully. You're talking about as far as like payments.
Yeah, the first year is gonna be, it changes as we go through the
Well-
process, right?
The amount changes. Well, we're gonna,
How did we end up finally doing that? We were negotiating part of that, so what did it finally come out?
yeah, and so what we're gonna do is this will be, the contract is for the software and the total amount with an ending date. It's not when we make payments, that's still being negotiated. You pay, let me think about this, how they basically you make payments as portions are completed, as phases are completed. You don't owe it all up front. And so we will not make payments until the first phases are completed. So that way, we don't ever get ahead of the game. And that makes sense?
yes. Because you never want to pay somebody up front
Right,
to do work
right.
in anything,
In anything. That never works out.
construction or
That never
anything
works
else.
out.
Usually doesn't work well.
It doesn't work out. And that was part of the part that we negotiated.
But where are we gonna pull it from?
Well, that's
That's the question.
Well, no,
No, we already dedicated those.
yeah,
funds.
those are, yeah, and so that is actually, and we can go ahead and talk about it at the same time under M. on the agenda. Because this is included in EM. Let me talk about that in EM. Let's approve the contract, and then we're gonna talk about that. And so the total, and I know this doesn't sound right, but I promise you this is right. It's a maximum amount. It's not how much we're approving. This is a not to exceed amount because you don't know how much the conversion's gonna cost until you convert it. And so the not to exceed amount is $2,326,664 over 24 months, okay? Obviously, we're hoping it'll be considerably less than that, but we don't know how much the conversion's gonna cost. Now, for everybody that's listening, what that means is every county in Texas currently operates under a hodgepodge, to use your word, of softwares, and we're trying to consolidate all of those softwares. No, we're not trying to consolidate. Individual counties are trying to consolidate. We don't have anything to do with other counties. And so Tyler is the company that is really taking over the state of Texas. And so they're greatly expanding. And so the problem is you don't know how bad a county's data is until you come in and dig into the middle of it.
Yeah.
And so Tyler can't say this is how much your conversion's gonna cost because they don't know how bad our data is until they start converting it.
Yeah.
So all they can do is say, well, this is how much it's cost other counties to convert it. So the conversion portion of it is separate than the software portion. And then we've already talked about all of this.
You mentioned a minute ago that Tyler's taking over Texas. Well, Tyler is the preeminent provider for this service in Texas. There are other providers, but the counties that we have talked to and communicated with that have gone with Tyler are very pleased, and it's been a seamless process for most of them. And like I said, Tyler is becoming the preeminent provider for this service, and that's why we have chosen Tyler.
That's right.
So with that said, I move that we approve the contract for Tyler Technologies to provide the software for all of the Brown County offices.
Second, well, Larry and I both seconded.
Co-seconds.
Yeah, we co-seconded that.
Right.
I don't know, pick one.
And so it's been moved and seconded that we approve the proposed contract between Brown County and Tyler Technologies for case management, court management, law enforcement, and financial software. Now, before we vote, did you want to add anything, Judge Smith?
No,
I know you currently have that in your other county.
we do that in Mills County, and we've talked about this many times in here. It's a big project. It's gonna take all of a year and a half to do it. And so, and, you know, the clerks are gonna bear the brunt of that work. But it's going very well in Mills County. So this is been a lot of hours to get to this point, so I fully support it.
Thank you.
Now, we've already talked about it and discussed and voted that we wanted to do this. We just hadn't voted on the actual contract yet. So this is just, we're down to the actual contract.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? There is not. Thank you very much. L is discussion regarding the upcoming vacancy in the office of Brown County Constable Precinct 1. As you know, Robert Mullins is retiring, and he did not run for reelection, and no one else filed or ran for his job. So that we will have a vacancy in January. I'm sure that Constable Parrott is probably ready for somebody else to come on, so you don't have to do all of his work. Is that right?
We try to split it up.
Yeah.
The other three constables.
And so, really putting this on the agenda is two things. Number one is to kind of advertise there is a vacancy to see if people are interested. And number two, decide how we want to fill that. If we want to have a committee, it'll be the court will vote ultimately. But do we want to, y'all want me to accept applications and then just bring a recommendation to you, or bring 2 or 3 people to you? Do y'all want to be involved? I mean,
What we've done in the past is the commissioner involved, and you, and someone from the, maybe constable's office, and you take applications. That committee interview applications and bring a recommendation to the court. I don't know if that's what you guys want to do this time, because
That's what we've
I won't
done
be here.
for 18 years I've been here.
Yeah,
So you want the commissioner for the precinct that the vacancy is in? Okay.
And you.
Yeah. And then maybe somebody, another constable, and then.
Either a constable or a JP, either one.
Yeah, and then we'll advertise, maybe we can
Yeah,
get,
I used to Jake.
well, of course, but your opening wasn't.
Was JP.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And so we'll get one of the other constables to be involved. And then we'll run something on Brownwood Bulletin and Brownwood News about a vacancy, and we're accepting applications for, a few weeks. And I've already received 2 applications, resumes, just in the last few weeks. And then I'll we'll meet and bring back a recommendation maybe by the end of the month.
You put cut off dates for the applicant.
Yeah, we'll need to, I would say that we would probably have a recommendation, maybe the first meeting in February. That would be a good time to.
Do you want a motion to set that committee?
No, I think we can do it.
Just no
Yes.
action.
yeah, I don't, this is not, this
Would the
sounds like,
appointee have to live in the precinct?
Excuse me?
Would the appointee
Yes.
have to live in the precinct?
Yes.
well, it also just says discussion. It's not it's
Yeah.
not listed as an action item, so.
Yeah, so I did that on purpose. Okay. Well, that was a good discussion. M is discussion and possible approval of allocation of remaining state and local fiscal recovery funds. Now, state and local fiscal recovery funds are what are commonly called COVID funds, ARPA funds, or we've called them a lot of different things. And I don't really know where we are on. We've discussed a lot how we were going to spend those funds in the past, but there really isn't any actual formal. Well, let me back up. The rules regarding those funds say that they have to be committed by the end of December of 2024. And then they have to be spent by the end of December of 2026.
Okay, go ahead.
No. And so there has been considerable discussion, not here, but I guess in some organizations about what does that mean? What does committed mean? We've interpreted committed to mean we voted on how to spend it. There's the National Association of Counties, they have interpreted committed to mean not that a commissioner's court has voted to spend money, but you've actually either entered into a contract or you've got a purchase order for a goods, you've ordered goods, you paid for goods, those types of things. I mean, I disagree with them, but who am I to disagree? I don't think anybody would care that I disagree with them. And so it depends on who you talk to, on whether or not what we have done is committed funds. You know, there's some people who interpret that to say, the federal government's gonna say, well, committed is not you voted to spend it, and it's a vote that you could undo later, because that's not much of a commitment. So, we have to file a report in April, you know? End of April? That's okay, sometime in the next few months, we have to file a report with the government.
We just do it quarterly, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure that there doesn't have to be one done pretty soon here.
Okay. Yeah, and so where we tell them our final version of where we're gonna spend those funds.
Well, as I recall, we had dedicated everything, and I think what was left was gonna go into the into the
Right.
computer, the
And there's.
Software.
And what I'm saying is, our dedication may not be enough.
mhm.
TAC is, they don't believe that it's as strict as that, as the National Association of Counties says. They think that what we've done probably is good enough. And so,
Do we need to go ahead and move it into an account that's dedicated to that fund? Does that make it
Well-
one step further?
what I'm thinking is, we just entered into a contract for $2.3 million. And so I think what we do is when we file our report to the government, we say, we just entered it into a contract for software, which is an allowable expense.
Yep.
And that'd be our official story. Now, I don't know what's left, what's been spent, where we're at.
I have to go on the-
Says we've got 3,482,000 in it.
But she hadn't dispersed that out to the precinct. She had that other portion. I got a portion a year ago.
400,000, that's 1.6.
1.6.
That was the precincts.
And I will probably need, when we start the steamer
And then
project,
a
I'll
lot
probably
of
bank off of
that,
that.
a lot of that was allotted to Goldsmith.
Goldsmith, right, well, it is, and, I mean, obviously, what you would do is you offset it, and so whatever is remaining in that project, you would just, the money you would be spending on Tyler, you spend on that, and what the money is, we're gonna spend on that, you spend on Tyler, it's kind of a wash.
What do you mean, the money we spend on what?
Well, how much money do you have allocated for the Goldsmith
I
project?
have to go and see how much has been spent out of it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Like he had 2-point-something million.
Yeah, but you don't know how much has been spent so far? Well, okay, let
me.
me rephrase it a different way. What'd you say,
3.4.
3.4? Well, what out of that 3.4, what have we voted to allocate that for?
All of it, it's all been voted.
No,
down.
I know, all of, I'm saying what,
1.6 was for the precincts, and I think the remainder was for
so
Goldsmith.
there's nothing else other than Goldsmith and the precincts?
I think there's still some left with the water.
Yeah, well, that's dedicated too, but it's not spent. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm
we're doing
saying.
it, we're paying if we go on a contract on that right now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is we can't do the, yeah, well, here, oh, yeah, but about, yeah, but that, and we're gonna pay that. We gotta
You gotta put numbers on
on a piece of
the
paper, that's
Well,
exactly right.
there is a contract awarded on that one, but we're paying as they do the work on it, which took care of nearly all of that, not counting electric. So it's already,
So that's, if it's a contract, that's done right.
well,
What I'm
there's a little
saying
bit of
is-
left, but we hadn't done the electrical part of the contract, which we're trying to get somebody, they're trying to add it. So we're gonna exceed that, and then we're still gonna finish one when we finish this project.
Okay, let me ask it a different way. If the money for the count, for the precincts, plus Tyler, would use up the money.
Yeah, how's Goldsmith gonna get paid?
It's, it's all, it's all the same money. Okay, okay, if you've
Well,
got,
we're on a contract with Goldsmith and we allocated a certain amount of money for them to do this project here.
I know, and that's the Goldsmith is who raised this as an issue, because us voting to spend money on Goldsmith in the future does not count.
But I thought we signed a contract with him to spend the.
No, we signed a contract with him for his services. As
Correct.
far as buying the stuff, like the $2 million worth of computer software, we're not bound to anybody for that $2 million.
But Goldsmith had $2.something million in
They've got a
his-
budget to spend, but we have,
Oh,
a
okay.
yeah, they just have a budget to spend.
Alright.
Because a lot of that is like Dell and different places. And so we're not under any contract. We don't have purchase orders. We don't have anything for all
We
of
have
that
that,
balance.
we have so we're getting close.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is you, on your report, you indicate we've got a contract for $2.3 million. Okay, and then you transfer out 1.6. Okay, and then with the balance, you pay Tyler. And I mean, you don't have to pay them,
But it's not allocated.
it's allocated. Okay, does that make sense? Because anything that's not allocated by the end of December of 2024, you send
Goes
back.
back.
I thought we'd done that, but I'm with you. I
Yeah,
heard you
but
saying.
we thought we did too, but now they're coming back and saying us voting to spend the money on the computers is not,
I hear you.
is not a commitment.
But you got a contract there.
But a contract is.
And the money that we would have been spending on Tyler is what then goes toward the equipment that Goldsmith orders. So, okay, does that make sense?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, but getting back to the water deal, the May Water District was supposed to get $250,000.
It was another, it was an odd number, wasn't it? But anyway, we
I
spent,
have to go back to that control sheet.
we had
And not-
we had 190 something left the other day and had a current contract for 160 something, but there's also those engineering fees coming out for 16,000. And it's almost, I mean, that's down to within thousands, but with that include the electrical, which we're trying to get. we're
If
trying
it
to
goes
add
over 250,000, it's on May
Oh, yeah,
Water.
yeah, it's on us. I mean, it's gonna go over.
You get 250,000 for May Water. That's it.
Oh, I agree to that.
That's,
I'm just saying, but we hadn't got
So you've got a contract for, you've got a
all
contract.
but down to that, between that, we pay the engineering fees. And we're getting
We've
15.
got some new bills that came through, so I need to go. in
Yeah, I got
and
one up
update
there
that.
upstairs for 6,000 for an engineering. There's one more of those coming. They did those in the segment. And the contract's awarded, but it's a pay as they go. So they've done one draw for some equipment material. So it's
Well, if it's awarded, that's a good.
awarded.
It
We
just
voted on it.
can't-
We voted on
Just
it
what
here.
doesn't count is for us to just talk about it and vote. Yeah, that's what we're gonna spend it on. That doesn't count.
Well, we may have to
We
hurry.
have to actually have contracts in place. Okay? You got it?
oh yeah.
Okay. So I think what we need to do is, well, actually, I think that we've already voted on there, so we don't need to.
This is the discussion and possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, let's see, let's just be safe. Let's go ahead and, let's make that a motion. Pay, a portion of the Tyler Technology contract out of SLFR funds. We don't know what the balance, we don't know
Yeah.
we don't know what the unallocated amount is, do we? And so what we're gonna have to figure out is you're gonna take your total balance minus 1.6 million, and then minus what's left on the main water contract. And then whatever's left after you do that, you're gonna apply it to Tyler.
And then what we were gonna pay Tyler out of local funds,
We'll go towards the Goldsmith
Yeah.
project.
I mean, yeah, we're making it sound simple, but that's like, means a lot more to her.
Y'all wanna wait till she gets back, or y'all wanna vote on it?
Let's wait and see what she has to say on that. We can work on bills.
Well, let's skip to bills then. Let's just go ahead and pay bills.
Make motion, pay the bill as presented below.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we pay the bills, the schedule of bills by fund that's been prepared and presented by the auditor this morning. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? There is none. Signed. That's your,
No, that's the bills.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
You have all those contracts for the jail, all that stuff.
Jennifer has the jail. The only jail I've got is the one with Mills County.
Oh, okay.
And Jennifer's got the rest. So you can have that one.
And she's gonna bring back later.
Right.
You want to put the effective date of the agreement, or does it matter? You have to sign it.
Which one? Yeah, I need to get
You didn't sign it.
I need to get a clean copy of it.
Is that not a clean copy?
See, it's written on.
Oh,
I don't know.
gotcha. Well, I'll just wait for all of them. I'll just keep it just for kids. And you have the agreement with the city or the other one?
Here she comes.
Okay, as of October 1st, we had $3.2 million allocated that was going to be spent out. 1.885 was left for the IT.
Okay.
The that's changed since, because this was October first, and
Yeah.
we spent money since then. So I need to update it, but that's where we were sitting. We had 1.6 for the commissioners, $270,000 still left. No, that was extended. So we have 1.329 left for the commissioners part.
Wait, 1,329.
Yeah, because we gave Joel some money.
For 70 for payment on
Yes.
a deal a year ago.
Yeah, so we have expended $270,000 out of the commissioners' money already, so they have 1.329. And then IT balance was 1.885, which left us 3.215. But that was October 1st. So, we spent money since then. And right now it's showing 3.482, and I'm sure that's interest at its firm since.
So,
But I know that Sam was talking to me about getting an open PO for $500,000 for Dell
yeah,
and some other stuff, so
right.
it's maybe 1.5, probably less than that
Yeah.
now.
And I think that open PO was this issue.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what he was, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, he was wanting to-
He had asked, he talked to Valerie about it.
Yeah, that's what he was wanting to do to address this commitment issue,
Oh,
was
okay.
that if we had an open PO, it would spend it down. And I just didn't think that was a good accounting. I thought that'd cost
Yeah,
heartburn, yeah.
another headache. to keep up with.
Yeah. And so I think that the easiest thing to do is just to, whatever the balance is of that project, which is, you got 1,885, it's probably less than that because they've spent some in November and December. And so whatever the balance of that is, to apply it to that contract. That makes sense? And so,
Precinct 2 has already gotten how much?
70.
Yeah,
Wait. Say that again?
279?
so we paid some,
I paid $170,000 payment. That's it.
okay, well, I'll have to go and look and see what it was.
And you got 50,000 to keep you running through the year.
I showed 270,000, but I'll go look and see if it's audited. It may not be audited. It may have been, took some money for these equipment.
We need to go look at that.
Somebody took money for buying something. I think it was Larry.
We got an end of year Caterpillar payment
So
a year ago, not this year, but last year.
they took money to pay bills, so.
Okay.
But I can go into that.
And so what we had done before was we had allocated the total amount in different ways. And then so whatever has been allocated towards the Goldsmith project, which would be the 188 minus any purchase orders from November and December, that whatever's left of that needs to be allocated towards Tyler. Okay.
October, November, December, because this was done the 1st of October.
So I'll make that as a motion that we do that.
Can you, repeat that for me?
No.
Please.
Okay, so it appears that out of the we call it the ARPA money, but it's actually the SL, whatever.
SLFR.
SLFR money. We had allocated to different categories. And the only things that are remaining to be paid were the Goldsmith project, which not to Goldsmith, but the project Goldsmith's working on, and the precincts and the remainder of the May water project. And so what we're going to do is the amount remaining out of the Goldsmith project, which was 1.885.
Right on that?
No,
Okay,
that's what, but you want me to explain it, so.
I just put pay a portion of the target contract on the SLR part.
Okay.
Is that enough? Do you want me to explain?
I'll work with you on
Okay.
that specific language. And so, did somebody second? Did you second?
No, because she asked before I got there. I'll second that.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that we reallocate the remaining portion of the Goldsmith projects amount to the Tyler Technologies contract that we approved previously in the meeting. And then the money that we would have spent on the Tyler Technologies contract will then be reallocated to the Goldsmith project.
He said he's robbing Peter to pay Paul or something.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Got me.
All right.
There's mud, right?
Did you say aye?
I'm abstaining. Look, this is something that is gonna, y'all are gonna be involved in it, and I'm not.
Okay.
I'll let y'all say.
All right. So, but you're not opposed, you're just abstaining. And so, so really what we're doing is we're deciding to spend money after your leave.
Right.
All right. So it passed 3, 4, 1 abstain. Is there anything else anybody wants to discuss? I don't believe there's anything else on the agenda.
Don't watch the agenda. That cleans up the agenda for the
See,
day.
it wasn't bad. It looked like it was bad, but it wasn't. So then we are adjourned at 10:08.